Everyone, Ben with Ben Makes Data Easy. I'm going to start out today with a story I've heard about John Cena, the WWE wrestler, maybe WWF, but it was a really, really cool story. So I wanted to start out with that. And he talked about owning two watches. And he was asked, well, how do you tell time with two watches? And his point of owning two watches wasn't about telling time, but helping him keep his perspective correct. And how he would use the two watches was really, really extraordinary, I thought. And so the first watch was when he was feeling prideful, where he's starting to become popular, well known. He would use the first watch to humble himself and put him back into perspective that everybody is the same and he was blessed with what he was given. And I thought that was a really cool perspective. And then the other watch was actually for when his self confidence wasn't high, which he kind of spoke about having that earlier in his career, where he just didn't think he belonged. And he used that watch again to know his self worth then, knowing that he did bring something to the table. And that story was that just kind of hit home. I think as a data analyst or in the tech world, we kind of experience the same thing. Our skills grow, we can do more, and that pride creeps in, and that we need to put ourselves back in the correct perspective when that happens. And a lot of times we're faced with maybe confidence issues where we feel like we don't know how to do things, but we do have a self-worth. We bring a lot to the table, and it's in my opinion good to kind of keep a balance between those two. So I just wanted to share that story for the beginning of today's video. But what I'm gonna get into actually today is my app, Ben Makes Data Easy. Again, that app is a way to search not only just one data set, but kind of all of your data sets. And it brings back metadata in a lot of different ways. Today, I'm going to be going into maybe kind of something similar to John Cena, some time perspective, but I'm going to show you how you can use the app to look at your report schedules. Not just one of your report schedules, but all of them together. I have a lot of different features that help us do that. I think I'm going to go through two of these features. So I'm in my app right now. I'm going to select my workspace. And this first feature is just highlights at a high level what data sets are failing and what data sets are refreshing. So this gives us understanding if there's anything that we need to go after right away. Again, this one's high level, and you can quickly see right away some data sets are refreshing just once in a while. Some are always refreshing. So it gives us kind of a quick idea of if we need to troubleshoot something immediately or if some of these are failing more than we would hope for, that we can kind of pinpoint those and start digging into those. So that's the first kind of view I have on that. And then I'm going to jump into another view. One second while I get there. So it's in my features page, almost like my workspace. And then I think it's this one. How do I manage data set refreshes? And I have a few other views too, but I'll probably just focus on this one. So this view is it looks at all of your refreshes on your workspace and then gives you a visual of what is running at the same time, and it goes down to the interval level. So this is really helpful if you have a lot of data sets refreshing. It can kind of be that visualization layer to help you plan where to potentially refresh uh, 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 oh, actually, this is the wrong one. What I was gonna say, help you plan where to actually schedule a refresh. I'm gonna go back and we'll get back into the schedule there. One second while I do that. Okay, let's try that again. So I'll have to find the right feature. Okay, so where are we? How do we review? Okay, right here. Sorry, I selected the wrong feature, but this feature right here this should give us then perspective or a visualization layer of all of our data sets refreshing at the same time. And then again, if you have a lot of data sets, this helps you understand where is the best interval to actually set that. Because if you're like me, sometimes you overload your intervals, and that can kind of create refresh issues, not just with that model, but a lot of models if your interval gets overloaded. So this is a good way to be able to help with that. So I'm going to load some more data sets into here. I don't think they're all loaded. And then once that goes through, um, we'll be able to see all the data sets on this workspace. Yeah, so it has this heat map. What's nice, it's broken out by your intervals, like I was saying. You can scroll over it and see what data sets are there. It has a nice table at the bottom, so you can see the times, the typical end times, the average durations of all of those refreshes. And then you can select the different days. So we can kind of see at this interval, we're starting to get multiple refreshes. Doesn't happen on all days, so that can help you plan what the best time to schedule those refreshes are. Nice way to do that. And then we also have time of day, so just kind of a quick visualization layer of what intervals might have those highest refreshes. So that's what I got today. I hope you enjoyed it, but I will talk to you next time. Have a great one.